celebration of Juneteenth. So there's a black woman walking around in the streets each day trying to figure out who I am. Where have I come from? I thought I was this black powered sister who knew where she was and where she was going, until I realized that I wasn't as free as I thought I was supposed to be. So then I had to figure out, where is life taking me? What is this thing? And then I learned about Juneteenth. It was a time where my ancestors were out on the plantation, I'm gonna use it loosely, getting it in, picking cotton, doing whatever what the master said to do, being who the master said to be. And then 2 years later in Texas, they learned that they were free. As a people of Philly, and we just had Juneteenth yesterday as celebration here. We have them for the rest of this week. But are we still free? Do we know what Juneteenth actually represents? Do we know what it is to be a black person living free, be it in Texas, be it in NOLA, be it in the Carolinas, be it in Mobile, be it here in Philly? What does it mean to be free? Do you know who you are in this Juneteenth? Do you even know what Juneteenth represents in terms of your power? We do have this day off now to celebrate worldwide what Juneteenth represents. But do we know what Juneteenth is? Do we really know why it's a celebration? Do we really know why it is important to be free as a human being? Be it black, be it a person of color, be it a Jewish person, be it someone of Native American descent, those of us that haven't really been free. When does that day really come? Even though I choose to celebrate in my attire, my freedom, but am I really free? Is it Juneteenth? It's no longer July 4th. So that was a day that we just celebrated habitually, July 4th. So that is a mindset of change. I choose to not celebrate on July 4th. Now, will I take the day off? Absolutely. Why wouldn't I want to be free on 4th of July? Free of my ancestors' overseers. Because it was the firecrackers, it was the cookouts, it was all of that music for 4th of July. We have a black woman who established Wild Wild Welcome, which we celebrate here in Philly. That was a black woman. But was she free? Did she know what Juneteenth represented? No offense to her. But what we have to do as a people, Juneteenth isn't only on June 19th. Juneteenth is an everyday occurrence, be it bound or be free. Being a black person in America with a K, we have to learn who we are. How are we going to get there? Are you going to take all of your other people with you as we walk in the freedom of what Juneteenth represents? Are we going to continue to walk in the slavery of July 4th and what we thought was our Freedom Day for many decades, many centuries, many eons? So as we continue on our new bounds of June 19th, a national holiday of being free in America, in a word called Juneteenth. So let's continue to uplift who we are individually so we can come together collectively to begin to establish what it is to be free. What does that look like for you? Are you free? Or are you still shackled to those that you consider to be your bosses at the job, your landlords where you live, those people on the street that look down upon you because of your colored skin? I can imagine what it's like not to be free. I can never imagine what it was like to be enslaved. But on this Juneteenth celebration week that we're doing, let's try to show who we are in our freedom. Speak out, speak up, tell the world who you are. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say I'm not going to do that any longer. You may suffer a little bit, but that's what freedom is about. Suffrage is what allows us to have the sacrifice in order to be free. So on your next Juneteenth celebration, which is coming up in 2 days, actually 3 days on Wednesday, be sure you're doing something and celebrating who you are, your culture, your freedom, and as I like to say, your blackness. Let's be free. Peace. Please. This is Drop the Mic.
Yeah.
This dude right here, if you look up Drop the Mic on YouTube, this joint right here, woo, take over.
I'm often thinking about how, like, through therapy, I feel as though not only am I able to be my more present person, but I have just learned how to cry, which sounds like something that everybody should be able to do, because we've all been children that just cried over and just like wanted to be fed. But I feel like so much of societal pressure teaches you not to cry anymore, especially as just like masculine presenting bodies. We're only supposed to show empathy, no emotions, or just aggression. And I had to unlearn a lot of that behavior to the point where I just cry at weddings. I cry when I get a good gift. I cry when I stub my toe. I cry at funerals. I just cry. I'm a crybaby. So this poem is called Boys Do Cry. And it's just me talking about how I'm a crybaby. Have you ever hugged someone so tightly and held them for so long you feel as though they are creating a force field around you to allow no harm to come in? But then you wonder, what is protecting them? This is something I think about every time I think about how my face used to be deserted of emotions like a desert, but at any given moment it can become a rainy monsoon nowadays. I remember the first time someone caught me crying. They grabbed me by my chin and said, "Why all the tears? Won't you allow that to boil up inside of you and become your burning passion?" As if I couldn't throw a fist and have tears at the same time. As if there's not rainy days when there's sunshine outside. As if I couldn't hold water and fire at the same damn time. But I was too much in my feelings to articulate this. But I wanted to tell them that boys do cry. They grow up to be men so full of tears they can resolve droughts from far and near, and they just want to be well. And I wanted to be well. So these tears allowing me to allow my happiness to become joy, allowing my sadness to have some relief, allowing me to be present with all my emotions. So I cry. Thank you.
All right.
Ooh. I'm a big crybaby.
I consider him my best friend. And then in a moment of distress when he was getting locked up, I realized, damn, I really love him and I never told him that I loved him. And it felt like that moment in retrospect, you're like, yo, this is my soulmate. We had such an understanding. We had so much care for each other. So this poem is about that. It's called Irregular Heartbeat. I was at the house party, music so loud, hands waving in the air, all I heard them say is, "Where the real kings at? Where the real kings at?" I was at the house party, music so loud, hands waving in the air, all I heard them say is, "Where the real queens at? Where the real queens at?" I was at the house party, music so loud, hands waving in the air, all I heard them say is, "Where the real queens at? Where the real kings?" All we heard was the silence. All I heard was my irregular heartbeat. And every time I hear my irregular heartbeat, I think to myself, when the last time I hugged a grown man like a newborn child? Probably the same time he got new bracelets. You know, handcuffs that fit tight around his wrist, as tight around his wrist as that robbery performed yesterday. Probably as tight around his wrist as that unprotected sex he had that night to celebrate. But tell me, when do we ever feel safe? Because there's no vault for our emotions, so we be feeling like, no one be feeling like, man, no one be feeling like us. So we always feel alone, but never alone. And all we want to do is feel like the hero. You know, save ourselves and a few others. Because that's the irony right there. Because everybody's birthed with a superpower. You know, alien to this world, flying high. Because he's above it all, to avoid his space. Listening to all the world problems. Thinking all the world problems is his, and his problems is the world. Well, that's the worldview of most people. That rather hide their smiles and a frown. And the same places where they greet haters with middle fingers. And the same places where they have their arms as open as 7-Elevens to embrace who you are. And the same places where they give their hearts out like organ donors. Just to show how much they love you. And I know he's thinking about this in the backseat of a cop car, thinking about how yesterday he was going to cop a car just to show people how driven he is, how he's looking at everyone in the street corners feeling like the inner row. Every single street corner looked like the inner row. We became boys to men from the inner row. Why does this feel like the inner row? Cop turned back to say, shut up, boy. This is the inner row. And all I can hear is in my irregular heartbeat. And every time I hear my irregular heartbeat, I think to myself, when the last time I hugged a grown man like a newborn child, 10 seconds before he got in that cop car? I rushed over to him, hugged him from behind as he was handcuffed. As they shoved his head in the backseat of that car, I whispered in his ear, I love you. Cops pushed me off, and I screamed at him, I really mean it, man. I love you. Thank you. So I'm going to do this poem. It's called Flowers, and it deals with just like black people and resiliency and just like people making urban gardens. So these flowers are at top. Ain't flowers the blackest thing ever? How they put dirt on us and we still grow. Drown us in water and we survive, planting everything that keeps us grounded. They be shooting solar rays at us, hoping that we wither. Not knowing our melanin be photosynthesis, the sun be our best friend. Ain't flowers the blackest shit ever? When I created that poem, my friend Enoch, who I was collaborating with at the time, he had said this line, ain't flowers the blackest shit ever? And at the time I didn't understand it. And then he further explained it to me where it's just like, sometimes we have so much admiration for the rose that grew from the concrete, meaning that they just dealt with so much harsh condition, no sunlight, no water, not even good soil, and they still made it through. But sometimes we have to be more like the acorn that knows it's going to be the oak tree and pushes everything out this way to grow the floors that have everything at once. And he said there's so much similarities between the rose, the oak tree, that it reminds them so much of black people being resilient. This trick in particular is about pushing everything out the way when you're not even put in position to be at the top of everything, where you'll see all the flowers are now at the top of each one of the piles. Thank you.
All right.
I've been doing poetry for a long time, and one of the things that I really love is how poetry gets me in conversations with people that I wouldn't have otherwise, has allowed me to go further than my feet could ever travel by themselves. I am grateful that poetry has put me in conversations with my therapist in ways that maybe I wouldn't have if I wasn't regularly talking and having conversations about my feelings. One of my therapists has said to me, Lindo, a lot of your poetry comes out of you struggling or fighting for the things you want, but do you truly know what you want? Do you truly know to have everything that you need and not have to put up a fight for it? And what do those moments look like? Because maybe you're not receiving those moments and appreciating them enough. And I sat with that shit because that made me feel like I was being read. And I didn't know how to respond to that. And I sat with that question for about a year, and I thought about, what do I need, what do I want? And in that year, I read this book called All About Love by Bell Hooks. In the first chapter of the book, she talks about how love has no abuse in it. It just is. And somehow, the model of love sometimes for us is tough love, which has a form of abuse in it. And I sat with that for a minute, and then I thought about what I needed. And this poem is called Tough Love. I want to be black man, held and quiet, small spoon, soft body. I feel as though I'm black man, holding in loudness, spoon fed that I need to be hard body. I feel like nobody. When somebody kills my softness, to be tough, call it tough love. Tough love is being punched until you don't cry. And crying is the only thing that stops the punching from hurting as much. I want to be black man, held and quiet, small spoon, soft body. I feel as though I'm black man, holding in loudness, spoon fed that I need to be hard body. I feel like nobody. When somebody comes to kill my softness, to be tough, call it tough love. Tough love is being punched until you don't cry. And crying is the only thing that stops the punching from hurting as much. Thank you. I want to do a poem that deals a lot with just imagination. I was imagining Cupid as this North Philadelphian who just went around with a gun to just revenge people in heartbreak. And this is a poem of Cupid just being a person from North Philadelphia that is dealing with people that are in heartbreak. And this poem is called Cupid G. Bang! Bang! Shots out my window, and all I heard was bang! Word on the street is Cupid, Izzy G. He traded in all his bows and arrows for guns and bullets. And he had for every sorry person he see that can't show love. Oh man, he'll never get me. I mean, never will he get me. As soon as I said that, I found myself walking down Broad Street with a tap on my shoulder. And guess who it be? Now I'm fiercely putting at my head. I heard him say, yo, where your heart at? Where that at? Yo, stop being slow about it. You can die here right now. Stop acting like you need it. I panicked grabbed for my chest, realizing that it's not even there as he snatched it off my sleeve, walking away as coolly as he came. I remember walking home that night, feeling so disheartened. Days following, I truly didn't know how I felt until I got a phone call from a private number, and guess who it be? Yo, do you want your heart back, huh? Do you want your heart back or not? Yo, speak up. Yo, I can't hear you. Do you want your heart back or not? Yeah. Then you gotta pay for it. Yeah, that's right. I'm holding it for ransom. Damn. Without having enough love or being able to give enough love, somehow I hope he pawns it to you. Because you see more value in it than I do. As you told me how cold-hearted I am. You told me my kisses were like snowflakes on your cheek because they lacked the warmth of love behind them. So hopefully he calls me out for the punk I am, for not showing you enough love and pull a drive-by on me, riding around in his car, blazing the L, listening to Lil Wayne saying to himself, I ain't want to hit him, but I hit him up. That type of bang, yo, jiggle that young boy right there. That's always wearing a hoodie, even in the summertime. Yo, pass me that bang, I'm about to bang on you right now, bang, bang. Slowly killing me with love, bang, bang. I apparently grabbed my chest, screaming up, love hurts, love hurts. He smoothly gets out his car with his 9+ tightly over my body and says, yeah, that's right, love hurts. Love hurts like that heartbreak you left her with, but don't even worry about that. I gave her your heart so she can finally say she has it. Bang! 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 Those are the last thoughts ringing in my head as I now find myself in the hospital bed, screaming out to the doctor. Love hurts! Love hurts! The doctor operates to take out every single one of those shots, to feel that I have no pulse, but yet a heartbeat, as long as I live. And that day, that very day, I realized Cupid is a G. Thank you. Thank y'all so much for coming out. It's Father's Day. There's a lot of things going on. You can choose any place to be, but I chose to be here.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it.
So, as I just said, my name is Mayowa, which is Nigerian and Yoruba, which means brings joy. And a little bit about me is that when I was in middle school, I participated in a Shakespeare recitation competition, and I chose sonnet number 18 by Shakespeare. This is my first time reciting it since middle school, since 7th grade, but I actually would hope in the future to remix this a bit and make it more modernized and apply it to my life. So, start from scratch. Okay. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease has all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, but every fair from fair sometimes declines by chance, or nature's changing course and trimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in the shade, because eternal lines the time thou growest. So, as long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to me. And that's it.
All right, so it's Father's Day. It's also Juneteenth, as you can see so clearly on my aspiring shirt today. And it's also just open mic. So I'm going to do a poem, and it's going to be called The Celebration of Fathers. So as we celebrate Father's Day today, be it a good father, be it a bad father, be it a father that you desired to have that you just didn't get a chance to touch, that father's love of the man that came together with your mother, however it did, and you were created, and you became, and he became a father. So the fathers that we have, the ones we love, the ones we dislike, some people actually hate their fathers. Some people don't even know who their fathers are, which actually develops a sense of loss, uncertainty. Where do I go? Who am I? How do I taste? And then I look just like him. The somewhat curse of maybe the mother and the father and not being able to get along, the wars of relationships. And then we have this love of the honoring our mother and our father. That's in the Word. That's what God says to do. So then we have to go back and we have to turn and look and say and start to believe that it has nothing to do with my father. Although I may know him, I may not know him, I may love him, I may not. It really doesn't matter. It is the love of people, the love of this man, the love of the man, the so many men that we have that we call fathers, as we have some men that never bore children that are father-like to us. So as we continue to look up to the black man, some may look down on the black man. Some may look around and don't even see that there's a black man that's even standing in the pivot of their walk. Ralph Ellison, he told us about the invisible man. Who is the black man on this Father's Day that has yet to be respected, has yet to be uplifted, has yet to get his 40 acres and a mule so that he can support me, he can send me, he can do for me, he can carry me. I can be a product of my father. But do I know who he is? Does he love me? Does he know who I am? Is there a relationship? I think that is the challenge that a lot of black women have, black girls, black men, little boys of black color. Who is your dad? Who do you celebrate? There's this other slogan that comes out. I get text messages saying Happy Father's Day, and I had to let it be known. I'm not a man. I don't celebrate Father's Day. I'm a mom. That's my piece. That's what I celebrate. But the reality of it is, Father's Day, as my pastor said this morning, there are no real reservations at restaurants on Father's Day. There's an open seat, an open table at every Father's Day. The prices stay the same because the men have yet to be elevated. What does father look like for you? Are you a father? Do you celebrate Father's Day? I just pray that the love of your father is what you exude, what you share, what you give, and what you forgive. Forgiveness of father on Father's Day is what a lot of us need to do, including myself. Although I've had a journey where I was able to forgive my father for all of those past sins, all of those heartaches, all of those disappointments, all of those days when I was called, when I was told I just wasn't good enough, that I'm not going to amount to be much of anything. But remember the words of a man. Those are words. Sometimes they become your beliefs. Sometimes it's how you walk every day. Sometimes it's how you sleep in your lack of peace because of those words. So on this glorious day of Father's Day, as we are here today celebrating nationwide, let's begin to forgive those black men that may not have left a positive role in being a father in your life, in my life, in the life of others. Peace. You up, brother?
I got a piece.
Okay, you up too. So how you doing? Good. You caught the 23?
That's an awesome shirt.
No, I took Uber.
Oh, yeah. That's what I said. I said, oh, you see the back? That's what got me. Yeah, that's what got me. Yes. So happy Father's Day.
Happy
to all the
Father's
fathers
Day.
out there. Yes. It's a thankless job, but we own it. I always start off my day with affirmations. So I like to start before I get into my piece, kind of my prayer that I say. And it goes like this. I am what I am, you see. A force that is real lives in me. I do what I do because I must be free. The power of life is my energy's key. I live how I live because life in me. The power of God is easy to see. I grow as I grow, so shall it be. Development in life is entrusted to me. And I love how I love the powers that be. It's universal wisdom that sets the mind free.
Ashe.
Right. This next one, you could call it a love poem, but it's really about You know how people come into your life. People come into your life 3 ways. This is my philosophy. This is Michael Wright's philosophy. Right.
Let me get this on tape.
Right. So I'm re-qualify that, right? And so I believe that people come in your life for a reason, right? And it may be to take care of you, to teach you something, right? They come in for a season, right? Maybe it's a season of life where you're taking care of somebody else, or you know that period of time, or it's to enjoy all the things you learn, because we go through learning pieces in our lives, and then we go through things we enjoy the success of our efforts. And finally, people come into your life for a lifetime. Those special people who come in your life, you say, I never want this person to ever go away. So the name of this piece is called Never Say Goodbye. Your soft brown eyes, they pierce my soul. They look so deep inside. And so I know you see the love that I try to hide. In a fantasy, I dreamed of you, but I didn't think that you were real. And now today you stand before me, I can't help just how I feel. You're a product of my loneliness, I can't conceal that fact. And if I were to ever lose you, I would fight to get you back. I have loved you since the day I saw you. I knew you were the one, and that you were going to be my lady before my life is done. I searched for you my whole life long. You are my heart's desire. And if I had you for my own, my soul would be on fire. Though your lips ain't as silent now, your eyes, they continue to speak. And your sweet and sexy smile just knocks me off my feet. Now, I could have written 1,000 lines of the love unspoken and how I tried to protect myself and my heart from being broken. But a kiss goodnight on a moonlit evening, hey, that would send me on a natural high, and I would have everything I ever wanted. And we would never say goodbye.
Ooh.
I am learning to reconnect with the spontaneous courage of childhood. Courageous like David and Goliath, when he stood among men who were taller than trees, yet he decided he would be brave still. Courageous like Humpty Dumpty, when he would fall down and get back up again until he could longer be put together. Courageous like the voice of my mother when she tells me I came here for a reason so that you could live out my wildest dreams.
Dreams are something I never remember. It's kind of weird because I often hear people talk about their dreams, and I wonder how it must feel to wake up and have a memory of something that you imagined.
Imagining's easy because real life is hard, so then, you feed yourself, you ain't got to starve, right? You keep going, we get the flow, we got a community going, imagination community-wise, makes you want to step a little bit higher, make you want to give your neighbor a high five.
A high five. I'm often greeted with head nods, daps, pounds, and love. I have seen so many in my time hug corners, hug people, hug blocks, hug each other. We're just holding on to something that's beyond ourselves.
Ourself, hour and self. It's the hour of the self that allows me to get up and get out and begin to start doing things that I never thought I could do before. It's that hour of that time of myself that I'm seeking something new so that I can be uplifted and I can be carried and I can just swoosh through the room of ourself in a singular sense of love.
Love, wow, love, that's an expectation, like a declaration, an expectation that you are going to do and be something in someone's life, yet can you live up to that expectation?
Expectation. Waiting on the moment where your soul decides to rise above the flames which threaten to burn it down. Down to the ground just like your heart fell when you first experienced your first heartbreak. And this heartbreak broke you open, not beyond repair, but beyond dilution. You're awakened anew.
That's, ooh, that, I think we should end
That's dope. I like that idea. Yes.
You're welcome.
That was fly.